Yeah, that's right. It's Joe here for Joyrider TV, and we're going on the Hobie 16 with 3 cameras with 1 shoe fill. Yeah. Okay, just pull the jib on a little bit. Just enough rudder to avoid the crash. Oh man, we've got an inverted cam. Okay, yeah, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. We're on board the Hobie 16, back with 1 shoe fill. Hello. 1 shoe fill has gained a shoe, and we're actually starting off by having to use this ropey inverted cam technique. The cam is on the other side, so we're just going to have to tack the boat first. So we're just going to go for a tack, checking the area's clear, sheeting in. We're going to go for a tack and park. Okay, so I've put the rudders back across immediately after the tack, trying to keep the main sheet fairly loose to stop us from heading into the wind. Gonna go for this twist. Maybe you could pull the jib in on the wrong side actually, just to stop us from yeah, that should do it. Okay, so the jib is in on the wrong side, which should stop us from tacking again while I'm down here. So going for the ropey tack cam inversion correction technique, getting loads of tension on there, putting the tiller arm down with the rudder all the way back, then taking the ropes over the top again, holding that tight. Then there she is, cam is fixed. So that was a bit more realistic than when we did that before in the very controlled environment. Okay, you can bring the jib back over. Okay, we've actually got a bit of onshore wind at the moment, so just going to bring the downhaul on to about 3.5. Of course, you can get your own calibration stickers. Send me an email if you're looking to get calibrated today. All right, I did warn Phil that there'd be a lot of chat on this outing, but I think he knows what he signed up for. All right, cool, man. So I'm just going to shorten my trapeze a little bit so that it's not longer than yours. So with the 2 trapezes, what we're looking for is to never have the helm's trapeze longer than the cruise trapeze, unless the helm is a lot taller than the crew. And we're talking a lot taller. Okay. All right, so you can get hooked on. Cool, okay, and you can go out. We've got enough wind. All right, nice. And you can just move forwards a bit. So we're trying to keep the boat fairly flat in a forwards, backwards, what would you call that, plane trim, forwards, backwards trim, trying to keep it flat. There's enough wind there for me as well. Nice, and here we are, careering towards Vasiliki village and all it has to offer. It's a bit early to go to the Zeus bar yet. Well, it is for Phil, he's not usually there till about 8 o'clock. So we're going to go for a tack shortly. Okay, if you want to go into the boat there, just tell me when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to tack it from the trapeze because the water's very flat, luffing up a bit and initiating the turn there. There we go, under the boom, pushing the boom up a bit with my back. just to help the sail go out. Yeah, you can bring the jib across, and we have got one more extra job, which is sort out boom cam and then out on the trapeze again. Nice. Okay, yeah, there's plenty of wind. Okay, you can come back very slightly. Nice. There we go, so I've got the main sheet block to block, jibs in tight. In fact, the jib could go a bit tighter, and what that will do is just flatten the jib off a bit more, and that flatter jib will allow us to sail a bit higher upwind, more efficient, and we'll get less of a backwinding effect from the jib. I'm sure the mast top camera is giving us all the clues at the moment to how our sail trim is looking. So I think we'll keep going a little bit further until we can get beyond the harbour wall, and then we'll go for another tack. This time, Phil, what I'll do is I'll count you down from 5.
Yeah. You
can choose how much time you need, and on 0 we turn.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, this is a good technique. It's about how ice cold the crew is. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're turning there. Okay, can you just flip the camera around?
Yeah.
That just, yeah, and then sort of push it down a bit as well, the whole mount. Yeah, okay, that's good. Extra job for the crew on the Joyrider TV Express, of course. Okay, and you can come out onto the trapeze. It's quite nice to have this onshore wind with a bit more strength than normal here in Vasiliki. This is the end of what we'd call the squeeze, which is where the wind just gets squeezed as the cross-shore wind is gathering a bit of momentum, ready for the afternoon. And in case you're wondering, yes, that's right, it is a brand new camera on top of my head.
Hooray.
Yay! Finally, after the capsize video killed the last one. So hopefully we'll have the telemetry displayed on screen so you can see how fast we're going. In fact, I forgot to start the Locosys GW60, which surely these guys should be endorsing Joyrider TV by now. Okay, Phil's probably going to say we should probably watch where we're going. Okay, so just going to pinch a little bit here. We're just coming in alongside the harbour wall of the new harbour here in Vasiliki. Still yet to open, it's been completed now for 2 years. All right, I'll do the countdown tack again. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So with the tack, increasing the rate of turn as we go through. Oh, I'm just going to shorten my trapeze before going out.
Up.
Very nice conditions. It's probably about 12 knots of wind, I should think. And we'll have a quick game of guess the weight. I'm thinking Phil's probably coming in at about 55.
Bang on.
Bang on. That's a pretty good game of guess the weight. Giving us an overall weight of 145 here, which is pretty good for a Hobie 16. With this crew weight, we'd be ready to take it to an event. Okay, maybe what we could try is just putting the jib traveller out a little bit. So just uncleat the jib first.
Yeah.
You should be able to do it from the trapeze. So by putting the jib traveller out a little bit, what we should be able to achieve is a bit more tension in the jib sheet, which is going to flatten the jib off a bit more. Okay, so this is a common problem, getting the jib uncleated. You've got to get, yeah, about halfway. Perfect, nice. To get the jib uncleated when it's under tension, you really need exactly the right amount of slack in the jib sheet to get the right amount of whip to be able to uncleat the jib there. All right, where's the windward mark? First thing you should always know when you're going sailing is, where are you going? Do we know where we're going, Phil?
Up.
Upwind, yeah, it's a pretty good answer, because that was, we didn't really have an objective. Yeah, so we have got a windward mark out. It's still quite a distance to go, but what I can foresee is the further we go this way, the wind is going to get a little bit loose. So I think we'll go for another tack. So, ready for the countdown?
Aye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and initiating there, increasing the rate of turn as we go through. Okay, and getting hooked on. I think the wind shifted a bit there as we started to initiate the tack. Oh, and the mast's not quite rotated properly, so we just have to give that a push. Oh, and then the camera's going to need another little nudge. Nice. Okay. Okay, as the helm, because I know it's always windy enough at the moment to at least single trapeze, I'm going out immediately. Well, not so immediately that time, but straight away after the tack, and then it's the crew who can decide if it's enough wind to double trapeze. The wind has dropped off a little bit in the last couple of minutes. Yeah, so then the wind's coming up, so then that's a good time for Phil to come out as well, and we can lay it down a bit more. A little bit of chop, boat chop, and just bear off a little bit into it, just to try to make it a bit smoother through. If we go really high through the chop, then the boat will bounce a little bit more, so bearing off a little bit is sometimes a good alternative there, just to drive the boat a bit more. Nice. Phil is doing such a great job at the front end. He has put the jib traveller out on the other side as well, which is very nice. Hopefully we'll come into a bit more breeze as we get towards this coastline. Yeah, here it comes. A bit more breeze will usually come with a bit of a header attached. A header meaning that we have to bear away slightly to keep the same course. We'll just come back slightly there. So we're not trying to put the bow down so much that the rudders come up, because on a 16, a lot of our leeway prevention is coming from the rudders. So we want to have a decent amount of rudder in the water. So we're going to take her in all the way to the mountain here before we put our tack in. Very exciting, getting up close to nature. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, initiating there, unhooking as I come in, under the boom, pushing it up. Little bit of a sloppy stick exchange. Okay, yeah, so jib can go now, yeah. Okay, and we're off again. Nice bit of wind here. Okay, really nice conditions to be out on the 16.
Agreed.
Doesn't always have to be white knuckle to get us tickling along. And just tacking in behind us, we've got single-handed, we've got Benny Rabbit from Sailing Holidays, not Sailing Holidays, activityholidays.com. Benny Rabbit used to work here back in the day. Now he's got his own fleet of yachts which are available to charter. He's a frightfully nice guy, and those yachts are very well maintained. So that's activityholidays.com, I think. I'll have to check with him. I think you'll agree that's a fairly ambiguous website URL. It could mean anything. Yeah, you can see behind, maybe you could see behind Benny Rabbit there, single-handed. He's lifting the hull a bit more than us because, of course, he's only got about 70 kilos on his boat. As we're coming up this upwind leg, just making sure the mainsail is not oversheeted. Bit of a lift there. So a lot of the time, if you do get a lift, that will come with the wind dropping off slightly. So you can just ease the jib off a little bit. Clear enough. Okay, so we're back on board One Shoe Phil Joyrider TV, and we're just coming into the cross shore here. So we've already taken the jib travellers out a bit more. Now we need more downhaul on, but to get more downhaul on, the easiest is if you are in line with the cleat. So you need to come down onto the trampoline here so that we're eliminating friction. I've pulled the main sheet in tight as well, which could help. Okay, and we're going to go with that. All right, so we're now getting into some wind. Okay, and we've got a windward mark up ahead. Someone had the foresight to put a course out. It's going to take us 2 tacks to get there. Yeah, you can come out onto the trapeze. Okay, really crank him in. Yeah, that's good. So by really cranking the jib in, that's flattening the jib off a lot, making it much more efficient in the stronger wind. It's probably come up now to about 15, maybe 16 knots. We can come back a little bit. And in fact, I'm just going to let the traveller off a little bit. Oh yeah, thanks. Okay, giving the traveller rope to Phil. And then with the traveller out a bit, we can really have the main sheet cranked in. But we're going to go for a tack in a second. So there you go, you can chuck this in. All right, so we're going to tack in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going there. Same as before. Okay, don't leave the jib back at all now. Yeah, so okay, there's the buoy. We haven't got far to go, so we'll be tacking again shortly, but I think there's time for Phil to come back out. Okay, and the way of judging where the tack is going to be is by looking behind. Yes, we can make that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sending it through. Okay, bit of a sloppy tack that time, and oh, very sloppy tack. Need to get this bad boy moving. All right. All right, so there's the buoy, looking at the bear away. So if you just uncleat the jib, get ready to sheet out. So really flick it upwards. So I'm coming downwind now, coming downwind, round the buoy. And The wind is fairly, it's not so strong, so we're going to go in off the trapeze and we're going to take her deep. Now we should be able to see the next buoy. Yeah. Okay, I've got the Traveller just beyond the tow strap, so we're getting loads of twist in the mainsail. And we've just got the jib going off the telltales. And we're just sailing the boat by watching the tapes at the front, keeping those flying straight across at 90 degrees. And then I'm thinking the wind's going to change a little bit as we go down towards the buoy. If it was going to be absolutely true, then when we're on about 90 degrees, that would be the time to jibe. Buoy's down here. Yeah, I think we could go there. And then if we have to put in another 2 jibes, that's fine. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, going for the jibe. Nice. Okay, just keep the jib really loose. All right. So, yeah, I think we hit that pretty well there. So going a little bit further was good. So if you just play the jib to the telltales, so you see the inside one's lifting a little bit, just pull it in. Okay, the wind is going to go a little bit lighter as we get down here. We might even be totally becalmed again. Hopefully not, of course.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, it's going a little bit lighter, so what we'll do is we'll move further forwards on the boat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's all right. Okay, yeah, and the wind has gone round, so it's not a particularly true course that we have. But then if it was a long distance race, this sort of thing would be going on. So what we're looking for to get us to where we're going the fastest is just where there is most wind. Having more wind is much more important than what direction the wind's in. So we're just going for the darker patches on the water which happen to be in front of us. It's a nice gust coming from behind. That will take us a bit deeper downwind. Nice. Bringing it back up as that gust just goes down a little bit. And now it's gone round so much that we're actually starting to sail a little bit away from where the buoy is, and it looks like there is a gust that could help us on the other tack, so I think we're going to go for another jibe. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going for a jibe there. Nice. Oh, just a bit of camera swivel if you could there. There's Phil with the camera swivel. Yeah, so when we do the camera swivel, if you just give it a thumb wipe as well. Nice. One camera swivel, one thumb wipe later, and we're off back in the now. So we're kind of fairly far forwards. This wind is a little bit light. Perhaps if we were really fiercely racing, we'd be on opposite sides of the boat, really far forwards, but there's no need for that on such a day as today. So we're looking for that 90 degrees again. Yeah, let's go about there, I think. Ready? Yep. Okay. So coming back for another jibe. Oh, she's a tricky one today, this wind. And in fact, what we can do, if it does look like the wind's going to go any lighter, is I'm going to get Phil on the leeward side of the boat. But we're trying to avoid that because we're trying to keep this pleasant. Oh, camera.
I'm not good at this, am I?
No, it's all right. It's easy to forget. So many jobs to do anyway. Nice. Okay. So after this mark, the next mark of this imaginary course is actually going to be back to the committee boat, which is about a 60, maybe 65 foot long yacht just outside the Wild Wind moorings. Not bad. Okay, yeah, if you could go to the leeward side. She's gone a little bit light. And the 16 really responds very well to getting the weight further forwards, especially if the wind goes a bit light. So here we go, coming up to the mark. We are running a little bit deep here. In fact, very deep now because the wind's gone back onshore, but we're almost there. So we're just gonna head up as we get to the buoy to bring her back to that 90 degrees apparent wind angle. I'm just saying that assuming that it hadn't gone already. Okay, and there we are, back in the good stuff. The strangeness of the wind conditions here when it's not completely normal. Yeah, you could come out, we can crank her up a little bit more. Nice.
Got a flappy jib today.
Yeah. Looks like batten number 2 on the jib is actually missing a bit at the front of the jib. You can see it's got no batten, and then it does. Weird. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go right up towards the mountain, because obviously most important is where are we going, so having a plan is a very good idea. We're going to go right up towards the mountain to really get stuck into this wind, and then we're going to go for some speed. Okay, yeah, we're getting into it a bit nicer now. So once again, we're going to let the traveller out a bit. There you go, you can have a second piece of rope. Okay. Sometimes the gusts do look bigger if they've got a big hole in front of them. Here we go. Okay, and we'll just go forwards a little bit there. And back a bit. Oh, 19.5. That elusive 20 knots is just not for us today. Right, we'll go back onto the boat, and then it's an illegal dead downwind to get back to the moorings. But I think if you're still watching, then very well done. Thanks for coming with us for this entire voyage. We are about to hit something very strange in the wind department. In fact, I think we're going to jibe without really changing course. So at the moment the wind is blowing from here, but very soon something is going to happen, the likes of which have never been seen unless you've seen it. Phil is already ready for what might happen. We can see the boats on the moorings are pointing in the opposite direction. Very spooky.
That is strange.
And a bit sinister. Yeah, so thanks very much for watching. Thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Your support has meant that I could buy the new camera, and you've been able to put up with me going on for the last however long this has been. So thanks very much. There will of course be more coming up soon on Joyrider TV. There's the wind going very strange indeed.